Hey guys, Richard at Ryden's Room here, doing my latest review. This time I've done the review only a few days after I read the book, so all my memories are there. I haven't forgotten anything I've had with the previous ones, particularly books 2 and 3 when I reviewed them way too late. So before I start the spoilers, because there will be a lot of spoilers, this is book 5 in the Legacy of Force story, Sacrifice. That's Mara Jade Skywalker on the cover. Still, and looking at the handle, it even looks like Luke's original blue saber handle as well, which she has always since Heir to the Empire trilogy, which is pretty cool. So yeah, book 5 in Legacy of Force. So there will be spoilers up to this and including this book, and random EU books before it. EU Legends. Spoilers will all be including this, but it will not go to the next one, Inferno. No, I won't even pull the book out because I've always seen it as that cover is even a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, so don't want to be spoiled on the Legacy of Force books, particularly this one. Turn the video off. I had a feeling, it's called Sacrifice. Someone is sacrificed. I had a feeling it would be who I thought it was. And yeah, if I'd read later books, it would have confirmed it. So yeah, anyone reading, wants to read Legacy series, or is that book 1, 2, 3, 4 in this one? Turn off now. You've been warned. So let's get to it then. Right, so I think I said this in the last video, this is the first Star Wars series I've really not loved. NJO, 19 episodes, 19 books, several two-parters, several one-offs, not perfect. There was plenty of duds in there, not helped by some of the authors who, there's no way realistically they could all work together like you'd need. And yeah, it had its problem, but overall, great series, great ending, and I've been fine with the entire EU ending at New Jedi Order. Legacy of Force. So New Jedi Order books were basically getting, on Goodreads account, 5s, 4s, or maybe 1 or 2 3s, but it was an average of 4.5 per book for the whole thing. This one is more like 2s and 3s. In fact, this is actually my first ever Star Wars 1 out of 5. And yeah, let's get down to it. So, Sacrifice. Jason is basically being told he must sacrifice someone he loves. This will immortalise his love, and it's his only way to truly prove himself, to commit himself to the dark side, and, well, no dark side, he thinks there's no such thing, commit himself to the Sith Order by killing someone that he loves, and he's, of course, wondering who the hell he's supposed to. Jason is gradually turning against everyone. Mara, she's probably the last person to defend him, but he's turned against her. Luke, he absolutely has turned against, and of course, much like Anakin Obi-Wan, he's jealous that he knows Luke is still the stronger Jedi. At least he's not too deluded to think he's stronger than Luke yet. There's no way he is, and he knows that. But of course, he's just biding his time. Thinks he'll become stronger in no time, especially with the boost of Sith-powered dark side, no doubt. That's how it works. Quick short-term benefits, but not like you didn't pull off in the long term. But yeah, so his sister completely turned against her. She was probably the one he did love the most, other than his parents. But yeah, he had a court-martial for not killing innocent people who were just escaping. What else is there? Yeah, Han and Leia loves them so much he decided to have his ship open fire on them, even after finding out they helped to save Tenel Ka. And from the attack that was coming on her, he's still convinced they were enemies. And in the end of Exile, he decided he would sacrifice his parents. And then, of course, there is Tenel Ka and their child. He's spent a little bit of time with her, but no one knows. He hasn't even let Lumia find that out, so he's convinced they're the two that he loves the most. And then, of course, there's Ben, his apprentice, because he's effectively, Lumia works out in this book, he's always wanted a son. And he's got a daughter that he can hardly see because of politics and all that stuff. But yeah, he thinks that, okay, it's Ben, I love him the most, when he's my apprentice, am I going to have to kill him? What will Luke and Mara do to me when it happens, etc. And yeah, let's get to it. It is Mara that gets sacrificed, and this is bad. So, good clue for this. You've got Mara on the cover, and I won't say he's on the covers, but the next 2 books are called Inferno and Fury. No doubt, Luke, Ben, Han, Leia, it could be anyone, but I had a strong feeling they finally put Mara on the cover of these books, and it would be her death, and it was. It's just infuriating. When I read Vector Prime, NJO Book 1, Chewbacca died, or Star by Star from NJO when Anakin died, they were devastating. Chewbacca, I'd actually have a drink after it. I'd heard it happen, but weren't 100% sure. And yeah, Anakin, I had no idea, but I just looked at the cover, looked at Exiles, and thought, it's going to be Mara, isn't it? And dog, what are you doing? What are you chewing on? Dog seems to be chewing something down there. Yeah, and it's awful. So, anyone's read the Republic Commander books Karen Traviss wrote probably remembers the lead female Jedi's death and how stupid it was. She sees clones opening fire on three young children Jedi. She decides shan't let a clone die because he's a living, breathing man, and basically lets the Jedi kill her in place of that clone. And then all the other clones just kill the Jedi in revenge. It's basically that she basically ruins her character, although she was ruining Etain throughout the whole series. That's the point of her death, basically turned the Jedi into villains for like no reason whatsoever, because the Jedi aren't living, breathing people, but the clones are. And it's a similar thing. Mara talks to Ben, finds that basically Jason's been forcing Ben to like go on all sorts of dodgy missions. One is along that one that nearly killed him in the previous book. This is now assassinate someone. Ben does it, but in his like grief, shame, guilt, everything, he tells Mara what happened. She understands, realizes what Jason's becoming, actually tells him, stop this Sith stuff or you're going to regret it, and then goes off after him on her own. No help. Mara's a great assassin. It requires stealth. She can't exactly lead a Jedi army, but I thought, okay, she's going to go after Lumiere, right? Nope, Lumiere leaves, follows Jason off towards where Tenel Ka is in the Havian Consortium. So, yeah, Mara follows him, decides to open fire on Jason, who complete bullshit, survives. Even when she lures him into a rock field and gets a gunshot in his eye, he somehow survives it. And, Jason just shoves her a poison dart, which kills her. And it's just complete garbage. I mean, she went after Lumiere and Jason at the same time. She knew Lumiere would be where Jason is. First of all, she's saying, okay, if we kill Lumiere, because that's what the book opens with her plan to do, that, no more taking her hostage, etc. No, she's going to pay because of whatever she's doing. She doesn't know she's Jason's secret master. She's basically ruining Ben. And by the point it finally does, she's just she's done. So she goes off to kill Jason. She could live with whatever Mara and Han throw at her. Leia and Han throw at her, obviously. Mara could take anything. But she basically decides to attack two Sith wannabe at once. Lures Jason, does a lot of good, admittedly well done, stealth attacks on him. But yeah, he beats her. Jason just survives a shot that should have killed him on the spot, just because he has to live to be the final villain. And it's just god awful. Ben it's so bloody sadly done. And then you finally realize what the sacrifice is. When Ben finds out what Jason has done, Ben is going to hate him. Jason is basically sacrificing Ben's love for him by doing this. And yeah, that's basically how it worked. And I just thought, it's just really, really bad. Like I said, Star Wars have killed major characters off before, but never like this and never this stupidly. Why she went off on her own? Thought she'd take out Jason, who she didn't really know for sure was turning to the dark side, but she certainly suspected more than Jedi like Luke. And died for it alone. Her body didn't vanish. It turns out Jedi can control whether they want that to happen or not, and her and Luke had talked about it, which is quite cool. I think it didn't, I suppose, because he got a body. But of course, Jason acts like it wasn't him. Ben makes a note that somehow Jason found him and Mara. How would he have done? So Ben's like, okay, I'll make a note of that for later, but he's too grief-stricken to do anything. And so that's basically it. Jason then names knights himself Darth. Now it's Caedus or Caedus. I thought it was Caedus, but I was on a forum about this and they were saying it could be K-I rather than C-A. But yeah, it's basically Latin for mass murder or sacrificer. So it makes sense. Apparently fans got to pick the name, which is quite cool and all, but nah, none of this works. I mean, Jason isn't like Palpatine. He's not just going around killing people in a crazed rage, but let's be honest, how long till we get the yellow eyes and the force lightning and the skin getting butchered in an uncontrolled force attack like Palpatine in episode 3? It's going to happen eventually, and all this talk about, you could just be a Sith, you won't be evil, you'll just be making terrible choices for the good of others, and it's Jesus, can he hear himself for stuff he's saying? It's but yeah, and I'm actually off on holiday in a couple of weeks' time to Mauritius, and my original plan was keep reading these through, but I'm just hating this series so much now, I'm actually going to leave it. I've actually, rather than reading the next book, Inferno, I'm actually going on to the Force Unleashed book and the novelisation of the first game, because I read the novel of number 2 10 years ago actually in Devon, one of Devon's libraries at Dawlish. But yeah, never read the first one. Picked up a graphic novel a while ago, which is cool, but it'd be good to read the full book. And then Master and Apprentice, when my wife got me, which is new canon, but it's Obi-Wan Qui-Gon. It can't contradict anything because it's set during prequels or before Phantom Menace, unless they make slight changes, e.g. the Count Dooku stuff in Tales of the Jedi, which I'll probably get into in another video. What's my dog doing? He's chewing on something very loudly. And then Revan, so yeah, I'm going to turn to this series eventually, but to be honest, this was the thing I needed to know who the sacrifice is, and yeah, it was Mara. I just had a big suspicion it was, and yeah, I just hated it. It's not that they killed a great character, like I said, they don't want to shoot back with Anakin, it's the way it was done, it's just so bad. And other things that happen, Jason basically starts changing laws in the government, so he can basically throw Cal Omas in a prison cell, and basically gradually move it so it's just him and his admiral in power, but of course she doesn't want Jason around forever. Calamus basically gets thrown in prison for treason because he basically makes a deal with, or suggests, he gets suggested a deal with Corellia to basically end the war. But Jason and the Admiral won't be safe, and Jason finds out and views that as grounds of treason. No doubt he'll do the same as the other one if he's successful in keeping now Omas in prison or even executed forever. Who knows? Elena is still around. The bitch is still alive, which is absolute garbage. She should be, like I said in book 4, how like 37 characters and she got away. And it's the same thing again. She barely did that much this time, but she's still there. Still, one good thing, Lumiere is dead. Luke faces her, kills her on the spot, which is absolutely great. You get her in a light whip by just doing a lot of close range attacks in the middle. Think book Dark Lord, how that Jedi tries to kill Darth Vader by going at his chest plate, and Darth Vader struggles. And that's what he does, kills her, cuts her head off, and then Ben admits it couldn't mean Lumiere because he was chasing Lumiere at the same time it happened, and Luke's like, oh gosh, she tricked me again. And Luke's going to get pushed very, very close to the dark side in the next book, which I'm looking forward to seeing, but after what's been done in this, I just have no rush to read it. It's just, I know people love or hate this series. Some people think NJ is the perfect ending point. Some people hate this because it's just a prequel rip-off with the new, the EU characters, and yeah, can't help but agree. It's just really bad, and yeah. This is all my other books. OG gave like 3s, 4s, but realised that was too generous, so just changed them recently to like 2s, 3s. This is a 1. It is that bad. So yeah, as much as I like Travis originally based just on the Gears of War books, yeah, this is again the final nail in her like skill of writing Source Codes. I mean, there's good stuff in there. Bob Mando, love is there, and the language, it's all good. You got Cal Scarata. I did like that part of Public Commando. I hated the anti-Jedi stuff that came in particularly in the last 2 books. Bob Fett's great. Yeah, they've stopped him like his death sentence he's got, so he's going to live for a bit longer. He got more stuff from Mandalore, which and admit, as I'm watching Mandalorian right now, it's obviously totally different, but it's quite cool to yeah, you can kind of like picture the Mandalorian armors in the same sort of in the way from the books. This is the way. But yeah, massively let down by what happened, and I'm just glad I didn't know that. I was only suspected it, but yeah, I suppose the only good relief. I didn't know this happened to her, but oh well. 4 more books, and let's hope Jason's a dead man by the end, because along with Boba Fett wanting him dead as soon as Luke and Ben, because yeah, Jason's convinced Ben will hate him, but still want to be his apprentice, which makes, again, no sense. It's like the bloody delusional Sith attitude, but yeah, really, really unhappy with this book. Not just because she died, but the way it happened, and yeah, not a good one. But yeah, so that's it. So my next Star Wars book reviews will, to show I'm not lying, it will not be Inferno, it will be the next one. So Force Unleashed 1, and then Master and Apprentice, and then actually Revan, because those are actually the last 3 of my one-off books. After that, it's the 4 Wraith Squadron books, and both Thrawn trilogies, but yeah, 4 Legacy of Force books and Millennium Falcon as an epilogue. I've got to read them next before the 433, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's it then. So hope you enjoyed this rant. Really didn't like it at all. I'm rambling on too much. I hope it's it's just too much to talk about. So that's it, and I will see you next time.